Hi, you guys. So, the social service organization that I chose for this project is Eckerd's Kids. So, a little history behind that is Eckerd's Kids is a nonprofit organization. It specializes in child and family services in the United States. It was founded in 1968 by Jack and Ruth Eckerd, which is actually a husband and a wife. The organization provides child welfare, juvenile justice, workforce development, and behavioral health services for children and their families. It started out in Florida as a private boys wilderness therapy program and expanded to include evidence based youth violence prevention and character education services. Some other programs that they have is Early Head Start, Family Outreach Program, a mentorship program, and a Strengthening Families program. Because they have so many different programs that they use within this organization, they don't just have strictly counselors as employees or just social workers. They have like a lot of different roles that they have to fulfill. And those can include a family support specialist, counselors, social workers, case managers, youth care workers, GED instructors, and also transition coordinators. So, the mission statement for this organization is to provide and share solutions that promote the well being of children and families in need of a second chance. So, I think this goes along really well with our social work values because it's promoting the well being, especially for children who can't advocate for themselves. And the key values that they use that really drives their mission is that youth always comes first, services should focus on the family, local communities must be engaged and empowered, engaging people from a strength based perspective, building strong and lasting partnerships, and having the courage to innovate and change. Funding from this organization comes from other organizations that the Eckert family owns or have started, donations, partnerships, and then for some of the juvenile justice program, they also can get funding from the government. So the characteristics of this clientele, in the beginning when it first started out, it was just strictly boys, but now it's boys, girls, and the families of these youth. And these are usually people from at-risk populations or ones that are involved in the juvenile justice system. So the primary challenge for this type of clientele is keeping them out or getting them out of the at-risk population or keeping them out of the juvenile justice system and providing them the treatment or the resources that they need to be able to get out of it. Because if a child, the youth, or the family, if they're going through something or the child has made a mistake and ends up involved in the juvenile justice system, um, if they're just thrown in jail or in juvenile detention center, they're not really getting the treatment that they need to help them advance in life and to keep them out of the jail system later on in life. So that's the main challenge they have is being able to give these children the treatment they need so they won't just be thrown into jail or a juvenile detention center. One of the ethical conflicts that may arise is making sure all the employees are competent in working with the youth. There's a lot of people who like working with children. However, these programs are a form of treatment. So, like counselors need to be certified or licensed. Just have to make sure they're competent so that they're actually helping the children and not just there to watch them. So, two theories that I chose, and I feel like they really explain this population, both the employees and the clientele, are the labeling theory and the empowerment theory. So, the labeling theory, it basically explains how society will term certain behaviors or certain actions as being good or as being bad. And really, actions, they're just seen as good or bad based on what society says. Like they didn't just become that way. So sometimes when youth do things, people say, oh, he's bad, or he's this, or she's that. And they start to fulfill the role of what people tell them. And society terms this as being deviant instead of normal. So the youth that this organization works with, you see a lot of that in at-risk populations. and also in the juvenile detention centers and juvenile justice services, because a lot of them may have done something in their past, and a lot of people just see them as that one thing they did when that's not always the case. So they begin, after they hear they've been bad for so long, then that's all they start to reflect. That's what their actions start to reflect. They continue to in this deviant behavior because that's what people are telling them they are. So they just start naturally fulfilling that role. And that's one of the things that this organization is trying to break, which leads me to the next theory, the empowerment theory. So with the empowerment theory, just like with one of their key values, says promoting the strength-based perspective. So they're really trying to build up the strength of the youth and build up their resilience, as well as showing them a real community-based focus and how the support of the community can help them. And they see this by the youth programs that the organization puts together and the importance that they place on keeping the families together. So the empowerment theory, they really focus on that because it helps break the labeling. It's building them back up and makes them feel that they're not bad, they're not deviant, that their form of normal may not be exactly what society is, but it's okay, and that they can still prosper, they can still live a successful life without the stress from the at-risk populations, without being in and out of the juvenile justice system. And these theories, I feel like, play a role in what impacts how the organization impacts the employees and also how it impacts the clients. Um, Really, the impact of the organization is like monumental. It's grown so much over the years from that one small organization that was in Florida for just boys. And now it's all over the United States. The programs have grown like tremendously. Like the list just goes on and on. So for the employees, it really helps show them the type of difference that they can make with the youth and with the families. It shows them how when they come together within the organization, when they're partnering up with the government, with local agency, building in the community, it's showing them that with the effort, with the resources, and really just with the heart of wanting to help and just being genuine and giving back to them and helping, like really wanting to give back to the youth, it teaches them how much they can do, how much they can change the youth. They get to see like when children are first coming out of the juvenile justice center and how they are then as compared to after they come out of a program or after they receive services. And I know oftentimes it probably seems like a completely different child because of how much they've changed their attitude, their behavior when they break like all this labeling. And for the youth, it teaches them that they're more, like more than the labels that people in society or people at home, people at school, whoever has placed on them. It teaches them that they're more than the stereotypes, that just because they've done something in the past, that doesn't mean that's how their future is going to be, or just because of where they grew up, the area that they grew up in, the at-risk population, because their parents were a certain way, because they grew up in poverty, or because whatever situation they might have went through as a child. It's just teaching them that they can become more than that. They can break those stereotypes, that they can achieve greatness in their lives. And I really feel like those theories, the labeling and empowerment theories, they really play a part in the impact that the organization has. So that is my presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So thank you.